Hi everyone, welcome to Challenge TV. I'm Master Coach Craig Harper. I hope you've had a great week. We are 8 weeks in, heading into week 9, so 8 weeks down. We're on the home straight. The good stuff is yet to come. To kick us off tonight, Master Coach Janet Kane.
Thanks, Harps. Well, this week starts your 9th week, so hopefully you've all checked in by now and you're really happy with your progress pictures. We're 2/3 through the challenge already, and it's time to push through that final phase. As we're 2/3 down, many of you might actually be thinking where you'd like to be at the end of the challenge and might see your progress now as a great thing and you think you're actually right on track. Others might actually think, well, 2/3 down, I should be somewhere, but I'm actually kind of back here. The reality is that our change in body doesn't happen in a linear scale. It doesn't happen even week by week. Your body will continually change, sometimes on the inside, and then it happens on the outside. So stick with it, because you might find that just keep pushing this week, and then next week all of a sudden you'll start seeing those changes. Trust in the program, trust in those changes, and trust that your journey is actually quite different to someone else's. So keep away from looking at other people, look at your own tracking, and if you keep doing the very best that you can, sticking to your nutrition on point, pushing in the gym as much as you can, and those changes that are happening will just all of a sudden happen, and you'll be most surprised with where you're going. So if you're feeling like you're not on track, don't give up. The journey is still progressing, it doesn't stop, and it goes in funny waves. I can't tell you how many people have got to this point and thought they're not where they need to be, but have stuck with it, and then all of a sudden they've got exactly where they wanted to be, and it just kind of happens, but you really need to stick with the program. So I encourage you all to, as we said, week after week, stick with it. I know it's there, but your journey is yours, so I can't enforce that one anymore. You're 2/3 the way down, you're doing an amazing job. Just stick with it, keep going, and we'll catch you next week.
Well done, Coach Janet. Well, as Janet mentioned, the week 8 check-in is pretty much done and dusted. We're heading into the last third, the last 4 weeks of the program. We've covered this a bit, but I want to just backtrack a little bit and go over checking where we're at. So it's kind of a stock take, a training stock take, a biological stock take, maybe a psychological, maybe even an emotional stock take of where we're at. So I want you to maybe hit the pause button a little bit. Just tone down the emotion and just have a look at your results. You've got your photos up, you've got your week 4, your week 8 photos. It's a time where we can maybe try to find some perspective and see how we're going. So we can have a look at what's happening, what's working and what's not working, and make some adjustments accordingly ourselves. So have a look at your training. Am I training hard enough? Am I training heavy enough? Am I having enough rest and recovery? Am I having too much rest and recovery? How's my food going? How do I feel? How are my energy levels? What about my sleep? Am I getting too much, not enough? Am I using the supplements the way that I should? And how are things progressing in general? As we know, there are lots of variables in the getting in shape process. Sometimes we need to break it down. We might tick 4 boxes, but one of the boxes hasn't been addressed. So it really holds us back. So as much as possible, hit the pause button, try and get a little bit of perspective, a little bit of distance on the process, so you can see what's working really well, give yourself a tick, and then maybe some of the other things that need to be tweaked a little bit just to get optimal and maximal performance out of that thing that you live in, AKA your body. Keep the emotion to a minimum if you can. And if you really want to take the emotion out of the process and you want to make it quite methodical and quite scientific, my suggestion to you is to create a diary. We're putting all the data down. So we're not putting emotion and thoughts and ideas. We're just putting absolute data, what we're doing, results, sets, reps, sleep, food. So we start to see a pattern. We start to have some data that we can analyze and interpret. And we start to become a little bit more scientific and methodical about what we're doing. And when we do that, we tend to create a more productive process. So keep doing what works, stay focused, stay positive, hang out with people who drag you up. Have a great week. See you next time.